Hello there, I am Danielle Masterson of Nutraingredients, and I'm joined by Somdutta Singh, founder and CEO of Assiduus, and that is a middleware platform for brands to scale globally, right?
That's right. It's such a pleasure being with you here, Daniela.
Yes, thank you for joining me. So we're going to be talking about, is the next Nutra unicorn born on the shelf or the algorithm? But before we get into that, something we were talking about off camera is, do you want to be known as a unicorn, or maybe do you want to be an elephant? Talk to me about that fallacy that we were kind of talking about off camera.
You know, Daniela, one of the things that I feel very strong businesses are built on strong fundamentals. And the fundamentals are about value creation and non-valuation. So when you talk about a unicorn, it is only driven by valuation. You know, sometimes there is no revenue, or the revenue doesn't even justify the kind of numbers we're talking about. But you and I have both seen an elephant, right? And we know an elephant is strong, it's mammoth, and it's there to stay. So I think Assiduus is an elephant and not a unicorn, because one, we drive great revenue, we make the customers our hero, we have 100% client retention, and we are profitable. So I like the term elephant over a unicorn.
Yeah, it sounds a little more stable.
Yes.
So if a nutraceutical unicorn or elephant is built in the next 5 years, will it first signal come from retail shelves, marketplace data, social commerce, or perhaps AI-led consumer discovery?
I think it's a brilliant question you ask. You know, about 3 decades back, everybody would say that if you're on a retail shelf, you're a hero. So if you get into a Walmart or a Target or a Costco, means you're going to win. But today, it's reverse engineering. It starts with discovery using AI and machine learning, because you want to know what the customer is looking for, and they're fickle because the options are too many.
Yes.
Discovery is faster. So because we're in such a fast-paced world where discovery drives innovation, data is the key. So you discover, you use the data to ideate and figure out whether you want to be a digital-first brand or you want to be a retail-first brand. And once you know where your consumers are and you reach them at the fastest route and the lowest cost, then you can diversify and become omnichannel. So I would say it's technology that is leading to consumer discovery, that is leading to channel planning, and that is leading to your prioritization of which channel first.
What would you say, what does the shelf still understand better than the algorithm, and vice versa?
I think everything is driven by the algorithm today, right? Today, if you see when even a brand is trying to create a new innovation, they're using data science and algorithm to actually see what the innovation will actually have impact on. There is a lot of sub-consumerism today, which is called the micro-consumerism. Think about longevity. About 5 years back, everybody was talking about a healthy lifestyle, but today everybody's talking about longevity, because people want to live better as long as they live. They want to look younger, they want to feel healthier in their body, and people are talking about the gut-brain axis. These are all things that has happened because of data and social media and the algorithm. So the algorithm is today driving innovation. And unless you're listening to the algorithm, you don't have the attention of your consumers. And if you don't have the attention of the consumers, you don't have growth, and therefore you fail. And I think that's where today algorithm is driving growth and scale, and not the other way around.
It's driving growth and scale, but do you think it's driving trust in some way, or is it just driving traffic?
Brilliant question. Trust comes from quality. And one of the most important ingredients of value creation is quality over quantity. If you think about repeat purchase, if you think about long-term customer return, if you think about if the customer is going to come back to you or you're going to lower the cost of customer acquisition, quality is key, and quality builds trust. Traffic is short-lived unless there is quality and trust. So somebody may come and try your product once, may give you a chance again, that is twice. But if you fail on the quality and if you fail on the derivatives, they're not going to come back again. So at the end of the day, you can drive traffic through algorithm and drive innovation through algorithm, but if the product is not good, the customer will never have faith, and they're never going to have the trust to come back.
One thing I've been talking with a few folks about lately is GEO versus SEO. What are your thoughts on that and getting, maybe a product to be more GEO friendly?
Let me give you a real example. So Danielle, I was telling you about Icarto, and that's like a live example of what today GEO is doing versus SEO. Today, discovery is happening even before you launch. Purely because the algorithm is so fast, because it's in beta and it's live in the back end, it's discovering by crawling on the information, like the cheapest deal on Medicube closer to me. That's what they're typing in ChatGPT, and they're driving the traffic to Icarto. And we don't even know how to handle, because we just have to cancel because we've not gone live. So we have to change our strategy, because now this whole AI-led or all these machine learning-led discoveries was not something that happened 2 years back.
Right. I'm just blown away, Somdutta. Like that's wild to me.
Yeah.
I have to ask, so we're talking about GEO, is SEO even relevant anymore?
Very honestly, SEO is only relevant once you have a lot of content on a platform or a product where you want to drive thought leadership. So SEO is relevant for media companies.
Okay.
SEO is not relevant for consumer companies. Consumer companies have to leverage GEO and the whole AI-led search engine optimization, and not, the old like Google-led search engine optimization, because that's only for media companies and large content providers, because sales are not going to happen based on that.
Okay, so just thinking about all this data that we're talking about, what would you say is the most valuable data for a Nutra brand? Search intent, repeat purchase, review language, symptom clusters, subscriptions, or basket adjacency?
Again, a brilliant question. It starts with symptom clusters. Today, and I'll say this, right? I'm in my late 30s. I know I'm going to be in perimenopause, and I'm already feeling the symptoms, which before we didn't even talk about perimenopause or geriatric or postmenopause or women in their 40s, how they're going to deal with this. Take a wild guess. How many searches are today there in perimenopause and menopause on just Amazon alone?
I would guess millions.
Yes. In a month, that one keyword gets about 16 to 17 million searches. And there are less than 7 brands catering in the market. Just do the opportunity mapping in that. So today, the whole idea is, what is search? What are people looking for? Categorizing your consumer based on the stage of life they're in, creating products based on that. Only then you're able to drive innovation, and also creating formats, because today pills are old. Liposmal is the new thing, because everybody's talking about gut-friendly oral supplements. Like, I'm just giving you an example because there is this brand called Symbiotica, which I'm sure you would have seen in the US. One of the founders is here, who's a good friend. They don't even have to do any marketing, they sell like crazy, right? Because the demand is already there. So because the quality of the product is fantastic, it marries with the demand that is already there. It's a new format. Sales and repeat purchase is a given. So that is what is driving subscription. So on their website, people will go for a minimum 6 months because they want to take the glutathione supplement, they want to take the charcoal, they want to take the colostrum, and that drives subscription. So you do symptoms, driving innovation, format, leading to discovery, repeat purchase, subscription. So they have to follow that curve. It's no longer launch first, then do marketing, then get repeat purchase. Nope. Know your consumers, create, and accelerate.
You mentioned women's health, and I'm just wondering, it's such a big topic, and one that, is near and dear to me, and I'm sure you as well, and any woman out there. How has that marketing in that whole category evolved since, you started in the industry?
When I launched my first brand, which was in 2012, I was passionate about it because I saw my mom go through perimenopause. It was very, very hard for her. And she had a very early perimenopause. She's a surgeon herself, but because of the stress and the lifestyle, she kind of, hit perimenopause in her late 30s. And while I was in my 20s, I was like, this needs attention. So I started doing some research and found out that women's sexual wellness is such an underrepresented category.
Yeah.
I launched my brand Amplicell, which still sells on Amazon, and one of our key selling products was female Viagra, because it was a hugely searched keyword. It's nothing but an estrogen booster. Now, women would find it hard to go to CVS and Walgreens and talk about vaginal dryness, but they went and searched on Amazon. Today, it's gone beyond that. it's no longer just about dryness, estrogen, hormone. It is now even more streamlined, saying, the people are going and searching, how do I discover early perimenopausal symptoms? What are the supplements for it? How do I remove toxicity? Because that leads to perimenopause. Stress reduction, is Epigen good? Can I use Epigen to actually get to battle my perimenopause? Do you know how big that industry is now? $78 billion.
Wow.
And when we started, it was less than $1 billion. So from 2012 to now, see the rapidness of growth. And I also have a family office for the last 11 years, through which I've done like almost 78 plus investments. One of my investments was through Muse Capital in a company called MIDI Health. You know, when she started the company, people said she's not going to survive. She just became a $1 billion company a month and a half back. And it helps women with hormonal health management after 40. That's what the focus is today. Look at the peptide industry. Why do you think even peptides is being talked about? Because we all need amino acids, we all need peptides, because that's what the cellular composition is. But were people talking about it 3-4 years back? And that is going to be the most disruptive thing. People are going to change the way they consume their supplements. They're going to go the injection route, or even through other formats where, like, putting on stick-ons and stuff like that. This is going to be game-changing, and women's health will be at the forefront of this, because women are now driving it. Daniela, we're no longer taking the back seat, waiting for someone else to do the discovery.
Exactly. You clearly have an eye for up and coming trends. Obviously, women's health is there. What else do you have your eye on?
I think the other very important category is kids. Today, a lot of people are having kids a lot later in life, which is great, because you need to first know you want to bring a life into this world, and you want to do it when you are stable, right? While of course the biological clock plays a very important role, but people are now having their kids in their late 30s or 40s, and then we have so much stress, we have a very different lifestyle, we're exposed to so much toxicity, which is impacting the baby that is born.
Yeah.
So the next level of innovation is going to have in neonatal and early childcare, and the final innovation is going to happen in old age care. When you hit that 65, 70, what happens after that, right? If you live how well you live, and working on your well-being, your health, everything around your longevity, that's going to be the biggest industry. But longevity is going to be the key word, whether it's at youth, whether it's in your 30s or in your 60s. That's going to be the whole big circle of innovation that you will see. But kids is going to be a big area, because parents spend a lot of money on kids who might like brain health, bone health. You'll see a huge amount of innovation there.
Mm-hmm, yeah, people will definitely invest in their children. Longevity, like you said, is another huge one. And one thing that I'm noticing is longevity is being tied to things like beauty and things that you wouldn't normally pair them with. Is that something you've seen as well?
Oh, in a big way. I live in Dubai. The first things that get accepted there is around beauty, right? It's a very beauty-driven country, and why not? Everybody should have the right to feel good, look good. We all deserve it. But beauty is no longer superficial. It's not about just facial rejuvenation or any of that. It's more internal. So people are spending money. If you see like the number of saunas or hyperbaric chambers or cryo chambers that is opened in Dubai, it's just insane. It's one right in like every corner, right?
Yep.
And peptide stacking. Right? I myself have tried it because I wanted to see if it works or not, because I suffer from gut health issues.
Yeah.
And that's again a huge innovation area. People are going to heavily invest in gut and how to repair your gut lining, your esophageal lining, and so on and so forth. But I tried BPC 157. I did it for a month and a half just to see if it kind of really helps or not. I haven't seen a significant change, but my energy levels were very, very good when I was taking it.
Okay.
So something did work. The other thing that is happening is stem cells, your own stem cells, extracting stem cells from your fat, and then basically using that for internal rejuvenation and molecular health. Insane. So it's your own stem cells getting back into your bloodstream and then kind of creating a completely new rejuvenation format. So that's going to be insane what you're going to see. People are going to heavily invest in that.
How accessible is that, though, to the average person? I have to imagine it's probably expensive.
So in Dubai, the average person makes a lot of money. So, let me give you because from a minimum wage perspective or something, right? So in Dubai, an average, like in what India we would call middle class, Dubai, it's like rich because they make so much money and there's no tax. So a lot of people save up to kind of, have access to this. And then there is deferred payment. But talking about accessibility, is it accessible to everyone? Of course not. But can a person earning $10,000, which is an average income there, access it? Yes, because it's less than $1,000 for some of these peptide stacks. But there's risk associated with it, right? I have my parents are doctors, so I asked them, even they said, try it for a bit, but don't do it too much because it's not FDA approved, right? So you also have to understand that in a trial phase, you're taking a lot of risk. So you have to be calculated risk. But accessibility is less than $1,000, not even dollars, it's less than 1,000, dirhams, which is like maybe $300-400. So people can access it.
Okay, and that's about the average cost, I think, in the US as well.
Yeah, so people can, and because there's no tax, remember, they make all the money.
Ah, okay. And before I let you go, obviously you're doing well as a businesswoman.
Yes.
I'm wondering, for all those up-and-coming Nutra brands out there, what advice would you give to them?
Don't chase just because something is working in the US, something is working in Europe, doesn't mean it's going to work in India.
Okay.
And vice versa. Don't chase the trends without validating your consumer base, without validating the purchasing power. And Daniela brought out something so important. Accessibility is key. India is a mass market. People are very, very particular about what they spend on. So you cannot bring in a very high value product from US and try selling in India if there is no consumer demand for it. And similarly, you can't make a product in India and sell it in US because US is very particular about quality. So one is a quantity-driven market and a price sensitivity. The other is a quality-driven market. So I would say brands today have gotten very carried away because of the success they see in US CPG and Nutra verticals. It's not easy. So unless you do your homework, you get your operations right, you understand supply chain, you understand what your P&L is going to look like if you spend on different things, do the reverse engineering. See the demand, assess it, build for your nation first, then go and access an international market and maybe make it international savvy or create different formulations, but don't try to take, it's not one shoe size that's going to fit everything.
Okay, sage advice. When can we expect Encarta to launch?
Encarta is going live on July 1st, and we're very excited about it because it's going to make brands and their accessibility to market so much cheaper, faster, and easier. And it's now, Daniela, you can sit and order whatever you want from India, or people sitting here can order whatever they want from US, but we have enabled it through the fastest route and the lowest cost.
All right, well, we will be on the lookout for that, from women's health to GEO to SEO and longevity and all sorts of things. We covered quite a bit of ground, Somdutta.
I know. I think it was great chatting with you because, I'm very passionate about health, well-being, nutrition, and most importantly, women's health. And I think we're in the forefront of something amazing happening, and I'm so glad I could share that with you. And hopefully we'll get to work on something together.
Okay, I'm looking forward to it. Somdutta, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Appreciate it.